Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-January 2023 reading for the zodiac sign of Virgo. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, Virgo, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so the last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at what's coming for the remainder of January. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. But let's go ahead and get into it. Going back to column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. Also, if you've watched my channel for a while, you're going to see an old deck today and a new deck. Somebody sent me this deck as a thank you, so thank you for the new cards. But again, what's wrapping up and coming to a close, we have the summary card, I Feel Alone. This is a pretty literal card here, Virgo, so likely you were feeling like you didn't have support, or maybe you were like alone. Maybe a spouse was out of town, or family's out of town, or maybe you've just been really busy and haven't had an opportunity to get out. But definitely a sense of feeling alone these last few weeks or month. But let's see what other messages we've got here. Hopefully you like this new deck. It's very aesthetically pleasing to me. So I was excited when I saw it and opened it. Okay. First up we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card being very traditional, being very conventional. It's oftentimes a card of expectations as well. And I hate to say this, but I feel like for some of you, things were better than expected. But for most of you, I feel like things didn't meet your expectations. They weren't what you hoped for these last few weeks or this month. Potentially there was an expectation that you would be supported, or somebody was going to come and they didn't come, something along that line. I just feel like expectations for the most part were probably not met. The next card though that we have is the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. I do feel like if there was a situation where you felt alone or somebody didn't meet expectations, I do feel like the energy got renewed here though. There was some sort of redeeming factor or redeeming situation. There's hope for the situation. It's been renewed. The next card that we have, this can also be a card of clarity. Maybe there was something happened and you didn't know the full story, but you got all the information. Now you see the full story, and that's what's sourcing the renewal. The next card that we have is the Hangman though. This is a very stagnant card. Things aren't moving forward. You're quite literally hanging there by your foot. But this is also a card of wisdom and gaining information. So I think that, again, you felt alone or the situation didn't meet expectations, but then you gained more information. So there's the clarity that you needed. Yeah, really the clarity that you needed. Okay, in terms of clarifiers, the first card that we have is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a card of wishes coming true. This is material abundance. This is good health. Perhaps there was something big that happened for you that you wanted to celebrate, and that celebration didn't meet expectations. Or maybe this was health related, quitting smoking, drinking, a weight loss goal, some sort of celebration, again, that didn't meet expectations here. I feel like you wanted to celebrate some sort of milestone, and maybe that's what didn't happen. The next card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of patience, delayed success. It is still success, which we like. It just seems to be delayed. So again, I think that was that lapse in time where we were feeling alone, feeling like things didn't meet our expectations. But I think you probably did get the clarity and the renewal by now. But it did take a little bit of time here with the Seven of Pentacles. At the bottom here, we have the Death card. I always like to indicate or remind that the Death card does not mean death, but it does indicate big changes. It's time to move on. It's healing, it's transformation. I feel like there was growth that came from this situation. Perhaps the alone time was more meaningful than you thought it was. There was like some sort of wisdom or some sort of gain that came from being alone or came from not having expectations met. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is just general what's coming for the remainder of January. We have the card, I am treasured. Yes, Virgo, you absolutely are valued, loved, and treasured by many. There's going to be some events. It's interesting because we're going from feeling alone to now feeling very treasured, which I love to see. We look for that kind of course correct naturally in life. So there's going to be something that happens in these next few weeks that makes you realize just how loved, valued, and treasured you are. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what cards we've got coming through here. The first card that we have is the Queen of Coins, which is the Queen of Pentacles. This is about being very resourceful. So this is using your resources wisely. Think about spending your money, your time, your energy. Again, whatever those resources are, this is about using your resources wisely with the Queen of Pentacles. This can also be a card of pregnancy or fertility. So if you're looking to grow your family, the Queen of Pentacles is a good card for you. Also, a very domestic card. So in terms of relationships, that's a strong relationship card. The next card that we have is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of nightmare, anxiety, grief, depression. There is something that we are worried about. But again, remember, worried consumes resources. That takes up valuable space in our mind, takes up valuable space in our thoughts, takes up valuable time. I'm going to see if I can figure out what we're worried about here, but there is something that we're worried about. I would remind you though, try to use your resources wisely. And anytime we can mitigate that kind of angst or that worry, we definitely want to do so. At the bottom, we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive, very tolerant, very empathetic. This can also be a card of leadership. So you could be in some sort of leadership role going into the end of this month. But I think that you're going to feel really supported and feel like people are going to have a good deal of empathy for you and really connect with you on a different level than maybe you've experienced before. Let's clarify and see what other messages I can give you here, Virgo. The first card that we have is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of loss, regret, grief. There could be an event that pops up, and unlike the event that happened a few weeks ago, again, it's something you're going to be really well supported on. I just kind of feel some low feelings coming through. And then on top of that, Queen of Cups. This could be regarding resources, like maybe you feel like you wasted your time on something or wasted money on something. But again, make sure that we kind of limit those thoughts where we can, limit that overthinking where we can. The next card that we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is very strategic and very long-term. This is actually really nice to see because, again, I think we're rethinking or like regretting a decision or an action that was made. But the Emperor is saying that we're taking the right actions at the right time. We're doing the right things. So when you end up in that situation, just kind of realize with the Emperor, we're still on the right path. We're heading on the right direction when we see the Emperor. The Emperor is also a card of good parenting. So again, potentially fertility and pregnancy in the mix here. At the bottom, we have the Empress. The Empress is a card of creation. It's a card of abundance. I think that you are going to come out of this in a better situation, even though, again, we're almost like regretting the decision or regretting the action. But it is an enabler. But one thing to keep in mind, so with the Queen of Cups, or excuse me, with the Queen of Pentacles, we were talking about that we need to use our resources in the appropriate places. You can't have that abundance and that creation if we are draining your resource in any one area. So again, make sure we're directing our resources in the correct area. The Empress is also a card of pregnancy and fertility. So lots of pregnancy and fertility in this area if that's what you're looking for. Okay, now let's move on to our next column, which is anything related to money. We have a money affirmation card to kick things off with. It says, I attract luxury into my life. In this column, we're going to talk about anything related to money, job, career, finances, businesses we run, investments we have, anything that you associate with money. First, we have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is about being solid, practical, and wise. We just talked a ton about being resourceful. This card is going to echo that message. Make sure we're making solid, practical, wise money choices. Some of you could be moving into a leadership role if you're not already serving in a leadership role with the King of Pentacles. This is also a really, really good time to make new investments. The King of Coins, King of Pentacles is a great card for investments. The next card that we have is the Tower card. The Tower card is a card of unwanted change. So there's something that's going to pop up this month that is a change we don't really particularly love or a change that we just didn't anticipate. I always tell people it's like you plan for A, B, C to happen and D, E, F ended up happening. So just be aware of that. The Tower card, though, is a course correcting card. So it's kind of making sure you're on track, that you're on the right path here. At the bottom, we have the Ten of Cups. For those of you that have watched my readings before, you know the Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. It's a card of good luck. It's a card of good fortune. It's a card of family. It's a card of contentment, total love, support. It's seriously everything wonderful that you can think of. So just don't doubt whatever this Tower moment is. Again, something's going to pop up that we don't love, that we didn't want, that we didn't expect. But it's still taking us to this Ten of Cups, which it doesn't get better than the Ten of Cups, really truthfully. So like to see that. The Ten of Cups can also be a card of buying a new house too. On the original deck, there's a house in the background of the card. So again, going back to investment since we're in our money column. Looking at our clarifiers, we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a card of being very patient. It is new job, raise, promotion, or money news. Again, I do see some of you moving into a leadership role potentially, or definitely making some new investments, but looking strong in terms of money, so some new money coming in there. The next card that we have is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a card of nurturing, healing, supporting. What I'm hearing though is like, again, you just kind of have to roll with whatever this is with the Tower card. If you take a look at the cup on the Queen of Cups, it's not really a cup, it's more of a trophy. And it's like the success, it's the reward, it's the award, it's the trophy. It's like things are still being completed, things are still being accomplished in really high success. So the Tower card again is course correction, but we're going to be happy with the outcome there. At the bottom we have the Magician. The Magician's one of those cards we love to see anywhere. It's focused creativity, it's turning visions into reality, it's very inspired action. It's having whatever you want, anything's possible with the Magician, and then the Ten of Cups is like the perfect ideal world. So be laser focused on the things that you want. Be focused on attracting that luxury into life, because the Magician's saying you can have it. The Ten of Cups says you got it. So not bad looking in the money column. Just roll with that Tower moment. Okay, let's take a look at our love column, which is anything related to love, similar to money. We have a love card to start with. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it only is in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So in this column, Virgo, we're going to talk about anything related to love, think family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love. First up, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is kind of a dark and gloomy card. It's a card of feeling really low, feeling at rock bottom. Some of you are single and not happy with that. Some of you could potentially be in kind of a low spot in a relationship, Virgo. We're going to clarify this, but again, kind of calling out a low spot. When we look forward, though, onto the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens, and these are going hand in hand. These are like lockstep. These feelings are definitely connected here. So we need to take a look at the stress that's happening in life, not just in the relationship. the exhaustion, the burdens. Again, if you're single, maybe you just have too much going on, too many other commitments to be pursuing that relationship. But again, that stress, exhaustion, too many burdens, these are connected. These low feelings are connected here. The nice thing though, at the bottom here, we have the Sun card, and in terms of good card in the tarot deck, it doesn't get much better than the Sun card. This is a card of material happiness, joyous outcome, success. So this is the shift that we need. So if you're feeling in a low spot, if you're feeling these burdens, you're feeling burnt out, looking forward to this Sun shift coming for you that's coming in the next few weeks. So let's clarify and see what other messages we can give here. Up first, we have the Ace of Wands. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. With the case of Ace of Wands, this is typically a new project, new inspiration, new urge to create. Definitely a good opportunity, again, if you're single and hoping to enter into a new relationship. This is a great indicator for you. But just generally speaking, if you are feeling the Ten of Swords, you're feeling the Ten of Wands, we need to do something new. We need to do something different, Virgo. That's pretty straightforward, pretty direct there. The next card that we have is the Page of Cups. This is again a new love card. So if you're hoping for new love, this is a great indicator for you. This is also though a card of like being studious and being hardworking. And in this case, some of you are just like overworked, overtired here, but something's got to give. Something has to change so we can break this cycle. I'm not sure exactly what you're going to do, but it's pretty evident with the Sun card at the bottom that the cycle is going to change for you this month, Virgo. And then last but not least, we have the King of Swords here at the bottom. The King of Swords is very intentional, very strategic. You have to make some sort of change here in order to get this shift with the Sun. So be very intentional. The King of Swords can be a card of seeking professional help. So leverage that how you can. I always like to throw the example out, not saying it's going to be relevant, but for example's sake, like if you're having car trouble, go to the mechanic, take your car to the mechanic. So again, be intentional, be strategic, make some sort of change, do something new here that can shift that energy, and you're going to get really good outcome. The Sun, again, it doesn't get much better than the Sun card there. Okay, now let's look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card, I Will Surrender. There's something that we need to let go. There's something we need to put down. There's something that we need to heal from this month, Virgo. Let's unpack this a little bit further. But I like this. I feel like once a month or once a week, we all need to go through and surrender certain things. Because sometimes baggage gets really heavy, especially the longer we carry it. But let's see what we're working with here. First up, we have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups literally means your wishes are going to come true. This is a card of material happiness. This is a card of good health. Really, really amazing card. So there's something that we are going to get that we've been wanting. I would say though, there's maybe something that we need to surrender for this to come true. The next card that we have is the Fool card. The Fool card is the first card in the Major Arcana. It's fresh hope, it's taking chances, it's going on a new path or adventure. Again, to have a new beginning, we need to have some sort of ending, some sort of closure to unlock this. And then we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is about being freed, and the way that we free ourselves from something is surrendering from it. So again, we are like right on the cusp of unlocking our wishes, unlocking our dreams, unlocking this new beginning. But we need to surrender or let go of something here. The first clarifier we have is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords, again, is that kind of dark, gloomy card, feeling like we are in a low spot. But we can literally go from this low spot to having our wishes coming true. We need to figure out how to surrender whatever is bringing us or making us feel like the Ten of Swords. The next card that we have is the Ace of Cups. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. This pairs so nicely with the Fool because the card is also a card of new beginnings. The Ace of Cups is typically new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage, but in general, just think new. You have those two new cards together. And last but not least, we have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles has so many different meanings. This is worry, this is financial loss, this could be bad health. And it's on top of that Knight of Wands, which is like freeing. We need to free ourselves from whatever this is with the Five of Pentacles. We need to surrender so we can get to this new beginning and get to this point where our wishes are coming true with the Nine of Cups. So really powerful meaning in that last column there. Now let's take a look at our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. This is going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, Virgo, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But in question number 1, we have the Two of Clubs. This is number 46 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2, we have the Ace of Spades. This is number 37 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3 is the King of Hearts. This is the number 24 card. This one's going to be yes. So no, no, yes there for you, Virgo. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. Your crystal this month is amethyst, which is good for dreams, losses, sorrow. It's good for letting go, good for surrendering, really helps with intuition, keeps you connected to reality, and it's great for mental clarity. Last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Virgo, your healing note says, be thankful for all things in your life, for they have opened your eyes to the good things you weren't paying attention to before. Thank you so much, Virgo, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. I did also include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Virgo, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your January.